Hello everyone, this is Plankera, and welcome to my universe. Today, we're going to continue rigging Shalom from Path to Nowhere. For once, I don't actually have any particular corrections I want to make, I just want to jump right into what I was doing last time, which is this strand here. So I was taking a look at how I have it on some of the other angles, and I actually don't much care for it on any of my angles. So I will be doing a lot of fixing it up on all of them, I think. So the first thing I want to do is I want to find it on the upper left here and unset it, since I'm going to be redoing it on every single one. So this is hair behind. So let's find hair behind in my list here. This is hair behind, middle strand. Middle strand left. Yes, here we are. Unset. Okay. So I'll go fix up how it works on the left and the upward head turn, and then I'll worry about making it look good on the upper left. I'm hoping that if I can make it look good here, that it'll just kind of work out. That the computer will help me out and understand where it's supposed to put everything in the upper left. Sometimes it works out that way. At the very least, I think it'll be easier to do it from the beginning than trying to clean it up there, then clean it up everywhere else. This way, hopefully I have to do a little bit less cleaning up. But yeah, when I was looking at this right before stream here, I noticed that, I don't know, it looked super flat. It's like, if I look at it here, this is actually quite round here. It's got a nice little gentle arc. But the way I had it before, it was just, like, straight. You can see it here. This is pretty... This has a little bit of the gentle arc, but I don't know. It could be better. So we're gonna make it better. That's what I'm setting out to do today. It's like, I swear, just all the hair in this area. This strand coming down here always gives me a lot of trouble. This little strand coming off here always gives me trouble. This little area just... We don't seem to get along, and I wish I knew why. I just want to be friends with all the cute little vertices. Alright. So here I'm paying very careful attention to the overall curve here, since that's what I disliked about the original. So this time I'm really making sure that that curve looks very nice. And as always, I still have a little bit of trouble moving a mesh that is made with 2 rows of vertices like this. I find the ones made with 3 or 4 to be a bit easier. There we go. Okay. So that seems to be curling nicely. Let's see how it looks. Oh. Okay, definitely gonna have to consult the mesh a little bit here. I just see some of this highlight kind of sliding upward, but that should be pretty easy to fix if the mesh tells me what's going on here. I need to hide my gizmos here. I had to restart this earlier. Or more accurately, I saw that Krita was lagging, so I wanted to try turning off some other programs. See if that made it run would make it run better. It really didn't, but I tried letting it use a little bit more of my computer's memory, so I'm hoping that'll make it lag a bit less when I go to draw today. Never did look much into Krita's options. But, this is one of the higher resolution paintings that I've done in a while, so I'm not surprised that it's a little bit on the large side. I do plan to upload it into the full resolution, but unfortunately YouTube super compresses everything. So when I go to put it on the community tab, I will provide a link to a higher resolution version. But honestly, to an extent, I kind of appreciate that it does that for me. Because most other platforms that I upload to, if it's just too big, it says no. And then I just kind of have to resize it myself. Whereas it seems like YouTube just handles the resizing for me. It says, okay, we'll upload it, it's fine. But we're not going to upload it like that. I posted a recent work in progress on the community tab, and that seems to be how it works. It doesn't look nearly as good there as it does on my screen, you know, when I have it opened up in Krita itself, but that's fine. It's just a work in progress. Those aren't supposed to look too good. It gives you the gist of where I'm at. And I was really happy because I finished the back hair the other day, and I think it's some of the best hair that I've drawn. It was good enough that I was actually considering redrawing the front hair, but I don't think I will. For one, I'm not sure if I have enough time to do so, but for two, I just don't think I really want to. Hair is just very time consuming. Not just in rigging, but also in drawing. That's the downside to the ultra pretty or ultra floofy anime hair. It just takes a little while to draw. But it's so pretty, so I just find it worth it pretty much every time. So fluffy. So here I'm trying to work out the distance between each vertex here, and try to keep the length of them relatively the same too. So that this way, hopefully, the strand won't be all squirming all over the place. Doing its best worm impression, you know? That's not really what you want in your hair. So I'm just trying to space them out properly and work all that out. As always, just taking it a little bit slow, making sure that I get all the details. I never do quite get them all exactly the same, but as long as it's close enough, I figure it's fine. And to an extent, I'm sure that there's a better way to do this. I just don't know what it is, so I do what I know how to do. I think when I finish this model, I might take some time to see if I can find some decent techniques for how other people do things. So I've actually seen that there were a few more people streaming Inochi2D now, which I think is pretty cool. It's a good little program. I hope more people learn about it. Because I could complain about Live2D's business practices for a long time, but I'll spare you all that rant. I think going for an open source alternative is a very good thing if you don't need that program for any specific reason. And as far as I can tell, it's not even Live 2D, that is not even industry standard for its particular industries. There's a few other options. It's mainly in VTubing that it gets the most attention. So it means that even if you get the skills to rig stuff in a different program, such as Inochi2D here, it'll still be able to carry over to that one to an extent. Just need to learn the particulars. Okay, yeah, that looks much better. So now let's take a look at this upward turn. The upward turn, I thought, honestly, looked a lot better than the left head turn, so I don't think I have to do quite as much work here. But I was not satisfied with how curly this was, so we're going to make it a bit curlier. That might be too much, but it's probably fine. Let's take a look. No, I actually think that's a good amount of curling. I just need to make it better. I think once I fix it right through there, that'll look great. Which does mean reining the kind of apex of this curve down a little bit, just so that it lines up a little bit better here. But otherwise, I'm happy. I think it looks good. Just have to consult the mesh to make sure everything is spaced correctly and, you know, all the usual stuff that I get caught up on in little strands like this. Okay. There we go. I think something like that should look good. We're just going to ignore the floating hair for a little bit. I just need to see how this is moving and where it's all going. Okay, I think I actually wanted to curve a little bit more outward on top too. I kind of see what I think I was subconsciously going for now. Where I want this to kind of come out like this too. And just embrace the roundness that comes with the upward head turn. Yeah. Man, once I fix that highlight, that's gonna look good. Alright, and then I want the lower part of the strand to be a little bit higher up too. After all, her hair is tilting upward, so it makes sense for this to be just slightly higher. That might be too high, but yeah, I think it's a little bit too high. Just a little bit. And it's okay. I'll go ahead and bring it right back down. Okay, yeah, I think that should be good. Now it is time to consult the mesh and make sure that all the spacing on all these vertices is a little bit more even again. All that kind of usual stuff. Yeah, they all got kind of bunched together in various places, but now they should be a little bit more even. Might still need to do a little bit more adjusting, but I'm going to try that. Yeah, just near the bottom. I think the top is looking alright. Because I'm pretty sure the tiny bit of squirming up there will not even be visible once I zoom out to 100%. Yeah, not at all. Alright, just want to get rid of this tiny little wrinkle right there. And then all should be well. Go ahead and consult the mesh, see what's causing that tiny little wrinkle. Did that get it? Is there just a tiny little wrinkle in the original? There actually is. Okay. In that case, I'm not going to worry about it because I think that is correct. Alright, looking good. Now let's check the upper left and reconnect everything properly. Yeah, it looks like it didn't quite connect in the way I was hoping. Oh well. It was worth a shot. So I'm gonna have to do a little bit in order to properly clean this up. But it's alright. It won't be that bad. Now I've done it twice, just now. And so I know roughly where everything needs to go. My brain is ready. It has been training for this for the past 10 minutes. So let's just go do the final one. At least until it's time for me to do the other 3 angles that I need to do. Look, I tell it's the last one. It makes me feel better. Everyone has to cope with the difficulties in life somehow. It's fine. Okay, so how's that looking? Okay, for some reason the bottom part did not get brought up with the top head turn like I thought it would, so let's bring that on up. I will line that up with the top head turn. I feel like otherwise it's lining up fine. That was way too much. Wow. Okay. Okay, looks like I just raised the one in the left head turn a little bit more than I thought I did. So we'll actually bring that back down a little bit. Where is it? Here. Oh, huh. Kinda... I'll say it lines up with this lapel right here. Okay, well that should be right. If anything, that's a little bit too low, but let's take a look. Yeah, looks correct to me. Now I have a little bit more freedom in how I line things up here. Okay. Okay, yep, stranded's going up now. I'm gonna have to do a lot to fix the spacing, but at the very least, it's all in the right place. Whereas before, it was not, so I will take the progress. I will take the slight bit of improvement there. I do think that's something people forget sometimes, of even just a small bit of progress toward your goal is progress. As long as it's better than yesterday, that is progress. And that is worth acknowledging. Brains are wily little creatures, and sometimes they will try to convince you otherwise. That somehow, like, if it's just a little bit of progress, that somehow it's not enough, or you'll never actually make it, and even if that's perhaps technically true, better than yesterday is at least a first step. And I think that is important to acknowledge. Alright, strand is still wrinkly, but I want to make sure everything is in place. Yeah. I think I actually want to make this bottom part a little bit rounder. So here I notice that I've been saying that it's still a little bit wrinkly and crunchy. Like there's still several things that I want to fix and clean up. But right now, what I'm looking at is I'm making sure that the bottom is in the right place, the top is in the right place, and then I like the angle that it's curving at. I can fix all these little, kind of crunchy spots after I make sure all of those things are correct. Because it's like if I fix it up now, and then I decide I wanted to change something because it's not quite right, well, that's time wasted, because I'd have to move things around again, and probably make things crunchy, and then I'd have to go and clean it up again. So I'm just adding an extra step for no reason. So first, I want to make sure that all the things are in place. And once all the things are in place, then I can worry about making it all look nice. So right there, I just kind of felt like the top part of that strand was a little bit low. So I was focusing on getting it into place there. And I'm pretty sure I stretched out a whole ton of vertices there, and they're probably missing their friends right now. But I will get them back into place momentarily. Like I said, just trying to make sure that I like the location of everything before I start cleaning it up too much. Make sure that the angles are good, that it's round in the way I want, and that the top and the bottom are joining in the right places. That was way too much. Okay, go back a little. Okay, that's pretty good though. Alright, do the last little bit of just visual cleaning, master that angle, and then I will go and consult the mesh and check all the vertices. And go back to getting all of the spacing and whatnot right. I'll do it from the left, because that seems pretty straightforward. Doing it from the diagonal seems like it'd be hard. So this one seems a little bit easier. And I think I can still get all the information that I need. So as usual, I'm starting from the top of the strand and working my way down. But I suppose for this, it doesn't really matter that much. Since I'm not really looking at the art itself, I'm just checking the distance and the angle between all these vertices. This is where things can get, like, strangely meditative. Of just, look at all those little lines. All those little gray lines. Up on the art here. And then check to see how their angles are changing. How the distance between the vertices are changing. Just those little things. Nothing else matters. Absolutely nothing else matters. Just small little angles. Small little vertices. And the distance between them. That is all I need to see. And once I get that right, all will be well. The vertices will be happy in their new homes. I will have good-looking art. And I will have a head angle that looks just a little bit more convincing than it did at the start of the day. And that's the goal here. That's why I said it can get strangely meditative. Just all you gotta do is look at what's there. Not at what could be. Not even at what should be. Just what's changing between these 2 points. And then trying to minimize some of those changes. So that this way, all the vertices are like about an equal distance apart from where they were before. Something like that, at least. I don't know, I still feel like right there's a little bit wrinkly. Yeah, a little bit. Looks like I'm still stretching it downward just a little. Okay. Well, look. Sometimes I need to train my eyes a little bit still. Sometimes I do not see things entirely correctly. And sometimes things get transformed and distorted enough that I kind of have to improvise a little bit. But the mesh offers a very good starting point. I know better than to doubt the mesh's advice. It's very smart. It understands some things that I do not. So while I do have to exercise my judgment, I think it's worth listening to it occasionally. Okay, this is another place where I should ask the mesh here. Is it just getting oddly crunchy there, and I don't know why. But hopefully the mesh will have an answer for why this is happening. Because it's like, yeah. I mean, I know that strand does have a slight kind of distortion there that I always think looks a little bit crunchy, and that's just how it looks, and I shouldn't judge, but... There we go. In the moment, it can be a little bit hard to see. But there we go. Alright, I think that's looking good. Let's go on to the next one. Alright, so now we have this one, and the connecting hair. This one I mostly placed. I just, need to make some slight changes based on some stuff that I moved around after putting it in place. But mostly I think it's fine. Okay, this actually tells me that I have some things that are a little bit off in the left head turn that I should fix. I'm gonna base it on what I did up here. And it looks like this little spot right there just needs to be rounded out a little bit. You can see there I was checking the other angles just to make sure that the strand looked good on them, and that I was deciding whether or not the problem was in the upper left or in the left. In this case, it happened to be in the left. So, there we go. That should look a little bit better now. Oop. Maybe not. Okay, I must have turned it the wrong direction? Let me see. How does this look here? Yeah, it does kind of go out. Okay. Another one of those small little details, but it looks like it actually goes this direction. I thought it just kind of swooped down, but no, it swoops this way. Alright, now I just want to pull that highlight down a little bit. Kinda get the spacing here a little bit better. There we go. I think that should do it. Let's see if I'm right. Yeah. Looks like we're good. Alright, next one. Okay, got a tiny little strand out there. Okay, let's see. It's just always so funny to see how things move before I fix it all. Okay, let's see how this connects. And it kind of follows this hair down. Just deviates slightly in terms of angle. Connects right up there. And then at this angle, I actually think that they probably overlap a little bit. So it'll be something like that. Just, you know, better. As always, it's kind of like that, but better. Wait, did I not connect it properly over on this one? Wow, I didn't. Okay. Okay, I should fix that too. Just finding all kinds of silly little mistakes here. You wouldn't even know that I went back and redid a lot of the left head turn to make it look better. Okay, so I'm gonna slide this on up so this way the tip is just kind of coming off right around there. I think that lines up with here. Yeah. I need to be slightly longer, but that's pretty close. And then I'll just adjust this curve a little bit. There we go. Something like that should look pretty good, I think. Let's test it. I'm actually bringing it off the strand more than I should, apparently. So I'll tuck this all back in a little. Right through here, too. I was a little bit surprised, because it's like, out of all the potential things that could have been wrong, that was not high on my list of where I thought the problem would be. Okay, yeah, that's much better. So, let me check with the other turns here. Okay, looks like it's a little bit long here. So let's slide things back up just a little bit more. Don't want to overdo it. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Does it still line up here? It does. Okay, wonderful. Looks very good. want to adjust the curve right through there. I definitely feel like I'm taking things very slow today, but that's alright. I'm still pretty happy with the progress that I'm making, and I have been a little bit sleepy lately. I've been going really, really hard on finishing the illustration that I'm working on. So that's why I've been a little bit sleepy. My mind has been very much occupied by that. But it's okay. I'm one of those people I actually really, really like just going hard on things, putting everything I've got into it, and seeing what happens. It's how I roll. I think there are two types of people in the world in regards to that. The kinds that kind of get paralyzed by fear and have difficulty starting things because it's like if they want to start it, they want to make sure that they finish it. They want to make sure that everything is like perfect and all of that. And then, or they want to know that what they try, they will succeed in. Whereas for me, the way I look at it all is it's like, if I do not give this everything I have, and I fail, then all I'm gonna think is, okay, what if I did this and this and this better? Maybe I could have made it work, and then I'd be sad. So I just give it everything I've got, regardless of what I think the outcome is gonna be. And sometimes it works out for me, and sometimes it doesn't. That's okay. But it tends to be how I think. Oh gosh, I didn't have that strand on. Oh no. Okay. Well. Okay, time to do a bit of a harder one. Oh my. Bit of a harder strand. Okay, so connecting this one tends to be pretty easy, because it has a lot of the exact same texture as the bank itself, and so I can just kind of put them on top of each other. Let me see, do you connect there? I don't actually remember. You do not. Do you connect there? Yes. Okay. So I remind myself where the connection happens. And it is right here. On this shadow. And then it goes up and follows this kind of light area that comes up here. Okay. Again, I completely forgot that I had this turned off. For some reason, I thought that I had decided to leave it on this time. I think I kind of used a similar division on the other side bang. The one on the other side of her face, and I think that must be the one that I left on. Let's see, about how far apart did I leave them? Extremely far apart. Okay. This probably means I'm going to be having to floof some of this out considerably. Let's see, about how far left do you go? So it's all very straight. So I'm trying to find the angle that matches up with how it is down here. And you can see that from like this all the way down is very, very straight. I assume it is here too, just here all the way down, yes. So I want to make it straight from here just all the way down. Alright, so let's straighten things out here. And I think this is like the last of the difficult strands. What's left? Yeah, just a few tiny ones and then the back hair. And it'll be time to move on to the next corner. As always, I'm living like 5 steps in the future. But I can't help it. I like to think of the next steps of the things that I am working on. Like, I'm gonna do that, then I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna do that. In this case, it's, okay, gotta finish this head turn, then I'm gonna do the upper right one, then I'm gonna do the lower ones, then I'll make sure that everything is all good and everything is moving the way I want, and then I'm gonna add physics to the hair, and I'm so excited for that. Oh, and then I'm gonna go in, and I'm gonna be able to test the model. I'm gonna, like, load it up in Inochi session, and I'm gonna see how it actually controls when I move my head around, and see if it looks good. And then my brain, it just gets so excited. It's some renewed vigor in what I'm working on. Hello, Vihan. How are you doing today? I'm just here, fixing up hair, making it all look nice. Shalom has so much hair. So much hair. It's like a bottomless pit of hair. Okay, but that went relatively well. I think I have everything in roughly the right place here. Let's see. Okay, the strand is a little bit thick still, but that's okay. I'll fix that in a moment. Okay, and that shadow there is sliding down quite a lot. Let's see. Where do I need to line it up with? Goes maybe halfway down the other strand. So probably want it, like, right there. Okay. Just doing some very basic measuring there. This little shadow where they kind of overlap was way too low. So let me see, where is it here? Okay, a little bit higher. Yeah, just a little bit. It's almost there. Kind of straightening out some of the areas behind it, so this way it won't be squirming up a storm when I go back to check it. And I can really make sure that that shadow is in the right place. Alright, how's that? Thickness of the strand aside. Now it's moving a little bit to the right here. So push it back over there. I think I still want to raise that shadow just a little bit. Okay. All I can really do is keep going back to check whenever something's not quite right. Make a little adjustment, and check it again. Just do that until everything looks right, and you'll probably have something that looks pretty good. Huh, I don't actually have that little shadow in the right place on the upward turn. I should fix that too. I've noticed quite a few little areas that are not quite right on my other turns. Fixed up on several of them today. It is perhaps a little exasperating, but it's for the best. I don't like to leave little problems just hanging out there when I can just go and fix them. Okay. That seems about right. It just all, you know, needs to be cleaned up and stuff. But I think I have things in mostly the right place here. I also want to check the angle on this strand here. I'm afraid I might be making it poof out a little bit too much there. Yeah, probably a little. It is quite poofy like that. Yeah, okay. Now I think once I fix some of the other little things that I've been seeing, I should have a pretty good strand. Let me see. Consulting the mesh briefly because I was wondering which vertex was sliding down super hard, and it was this one. This is the one that was sliding down super hard. So I'll help it back up so this way it doesn't fall down. Okay, so now one of the things that I noticed when comparing it to the left-hand turn was that this strand was getting a little bit thick. So I want to make sure that it stays fairly thin here. Tells me that these outer vertices are actually supposed to be pretty close to the inner ones. So I'll try to get all that lined up correctly. Alright, looks like it's slightly wrinkly still, but I just want to check all the other movement. That's looking pretty good. Yeah. Looking pretty good, I think. Okay. So now I'll just fix up the last few things that are bothering me, and it'll be time to move on to the next strand. Oh, that's good. The one that was probably the hardest, all finished. That bodes well for finishing all of the other little strands today. See how ambitious I feel on finishing the entire upper left turn today, but I'm not quite sure if I'll be able to finish the back hair. There's one particular highlight in the back hair that's just always an adventure. Always trips me up. It's just as bad as the strand from hell. In fact, it's right next to the strand from hell. They like to hang out together. I'm not surprised. I wonder if they share ideas for how to torment me. Okay, now I don't think that's actually a problem. Let me check it without this strand there. For a second there, it looked like they were moving at like slightly different rates. But no, it's just a piece of hair from a different layer showing up in between them, but I think this is actually correct. So, we're good. Time to do the next one. Alright, we got a tiny little loop here. My goodness, he's sticking out. Looks like he was kind of just hanging off the edge there, about to fall down. Terrifying. Let's tuck him back underneath here, where it'll be nice and safe. Fortunately, I think for a lot of these tiny strands, a lot of the times I just kind of have to move them slightly one particular direction. And everything works out. So they at least tend to be pretty straightforward. I'm having to catch myself though, because I'm trying not to get too impatient about finishing today. When I get near the end of something, I tend to want to rush the last little bit. And there is absolutely no point in trying to rush the last little bit. But it is very much a habit that I have, so I'm trying to pay close attention to it and intentionally slow myself down. Take it nice, slow, and deliberately. Don't rush, don't get lazy, and don't miss obvious things. It's fine. It'll all be finished soon. Just what I mentioned before. My head is already seeing like the next 5 steps and it's getting very excited. Okay, so this area I like barely even had to change. So yeah, I think this strand is already correct. Yeah. Hold up here. Okay, minor thing that I think is probably going to be important to fix. Kind of glad that I noticed it here. Let's hide this. I can see in the upper turn here that this is sticking out through this hair that it's supposed to be coming out of. So I definitely want to get that just tucked away underneath here where it will not be seen. Okay. Let's see, there's still something there. Okay, this is all important stuff to find before I declare everything finished. Ah, did I leave like a hole in the... Okay, well that's terrifying. That actually is kind of terrifying. So you can see there's like this tiny little hole here, and the strand just kind of sticks out where it doesn't belong. So I guess I'll try to fill those in. I don't really want to just leave it like that. That will look strange once things start moving around. I just never noticed it because, of course, the default view is just completely covered by hair, so... Yeah, okay, there we go. Now I don't see anything strange anymore. So, on to the next one. 3 more, and back here to go. Okay, so where does this strand actually connect to the hair? There's like a highlight that it runs across. Okay, I see it. It's this one. Oh, I don't have it properly connected here. Let's fix it here too then. So yes, it's supposed to connect on this little highlight, like right there. There we go. It should actually make this turn look a little bit better too. Okay, yep, I think that's fine. Okay, so now we have this guy. Also in an area that I did not have to change very much in the corner, so yeah, I think that one already looks okay. You just move things around everywhere, make sure there's no weird interpolation anywhere that I need to fix, but nope, I think it looks fine. Okay. Next one. Let's see, I don't like the angle that it's coming out here. So it looks like this is just going to be another slight angle change, and then all will be well. We'll see if that applies to the upper left too. It's always nice when it does. It makes my life a bit easier. Does it look good up here? Yeah, I think so. Alright, it's connecting a little bit too high up, but otherwise I think it looks okay. Just need to point its little head right there. And there we go. Okay. Is this one completely hidden at this angle? Which hair is this? Yeah, it's that one. Yep, it is completely hidden at this angle, so it's already perfect. Needs no interaction from me. Most excellent. Okay, back hair time. Okay, how kind is the back hair gonna be? Oh my. Okay, so things are sliding down a bit more than I want them to, but otherwise it doesn't look too bad. Did I already do some work on the back hair? Is that why everything's weird? Let me... Hair... B-A-C... It is called hair back, right? Yes. Hair back, okay. So I haven't done any edits onto this yet. Alright. Well, let's bring this up a little bit higher. I want to line this up with the top. So I'll look at the top head turn first. Okay, I think it's lined up. We're not going to talk about that right now. It's fine. I'll fix that in a little bit. So because the back hair is attached to the back of her head, the back of her head is actually going down. So that's why I want the back hair to be going down a little bit too. And that's why this is being angled like that. And why, despite her head going up, this bit of hair is actually going down. Just checking everywhere else real quick. I think everywhere else looks good. So I can just focus all of my attention onto the highlight from hell. And this little spot right here, right next to the strand from hell. Like I said, I think they hang out. I'm gonna focus on that for just a second here. Let me just pull all of this a little bit further this way. And, except this bottom part. It's like I wasn't talking about that for a little bit, but I guess it's okay to talk about now. We'll go ahead and fix it. Can only fix one thing at a time, so... I was looking at something else for a little bit, but now I can look at this part. Make it all look very nice. As nice as I can manage. Okay, there we go. That should help a little bit, I hope. Still got a few little spots that I want to fix, but... in terms of where things are located, I think, at least for this upper part, this looks pretty okay. Yeah, I think so. Alright, let's make that look a little bit less crunchy. Just smooth everything out. Make it all look very nice. And that'll be good. I think I'll do the shadows tomorrow, because I still have all the shadows cast from the hair off. Makes it a little bit easier to work on all this. That's another one of those things where it's like, strictly speaking, I could keep the shadows on from the beginning. But then I'd have to be making adjustments to them every time I changed something. And that just seems really time-consuming for no reason. It's easier just to turn them off and then adjust them all at once at the end when I know where the hair is going to be going. Still a little crunchy right here. Let's just find a spot where those vertices make that look a little bit smoother. Yeah, there we go. That looks better. Okay, let's check it all out. See if it all looks okay. Huh, I never brought all this to the end, huh? Again, you wouldn't know that I actually redid the left head angle, like, twice. But, here we are. Mistakes were made, but future self is here to save the day. Or I guess, present self when my past self considers this my future self. It's alright, past self, I got your back. Make everything just look very, very nice. Okay. Yeah, that's right, that strand did change slightly. A couple of these strands changed slightly, so that might actually be what happened. That's probably more likely than just my past self making a bunch of really kind of silly mistakes. Okay. Never really did like the way this part back there looked, but it's kind of the way things worked out. I guess it doesn't have to be. I wonder if it would actually look okay if I didn't have the back hair go all the way up against the strand. Like, that's how I did it because that's how it worked in the original, but maybe it would actually look better if I didn't make it do that. If I let it be free and disconnect. Yeah, considerably, actually. Okay. Well, that's gonna make me redo some stuff, but it'll be worth it in the end. It'll all be worth it in the end. Let me hide the side bang here for just a little bit. Just need to find the layer. There it is. Okay. I felt like there was a little lump here. I'm a little bit worried about how the back hair looks without stuff covering it. But I assume that my past self drew it with that in mind, and that it wouldn't have to be covered. That tends to be how I approach cutting out the art and redrawing for these kinds of things. So I will choose to trust her for the time being. And we'll see how that works out. Because, man, it really does look better if I just allow myself not to have the back hair just cling to that outer strand. If I just let it come on down on its own. Move on its own terms. Man, that really does make such a difference. I don't know why I insisted on doing it the other way before. But here we are. Okay, never mind that. Never mind that. We're not doing the upper right now. There we go. Let's just straighten all this out. We'll just make it all pretty. I'll ignore that crunchy spot for just a second here. And I'll just try to line everything up with this new change. Since it all is just a little bit different now. I hope these vertices will be happier here than they were before. Because before there was a lot of squirming and I didn't know what to do about it. But then for some reason it just never occurred to me to do the obvious thing of just don't let it make it attached to that outer strand. It's okay. You drew it so that it wouldn't have to be that way. It's okay. Everything will be okay. I don't know, it still looks a little wrinkly. This might be something that I revisit tomorrow. But in theory, I think this is a pretty good idea if I can get it to look good. Yeah, I think I will try that tomorrow. For now, we'll just have floating hair Shalom again, so that this way I can leave that area blank. And I can see what I'm doing tomorrow. This will be where I end for today. So, thank you all for coming. If you'd like me to take a look at your own creative projects, whether that be art, writing, coding, game design, or any creative pursuit you can think of, feel free to message or at me on the social media platform of your choice. I will take a look and maybe leave some comments. I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.